electronics tutorial for Danon Tech. In this video, we'll look at the packaging of chips, and the primary type of chip we're going to be working with is the DIP or dual inline package chip. And that chip has two rows of pins or pinouts on it, and you can see here a row on this one. This one's turned upside down, and you can see the chips on or the pins on one side, and back in the background the pins on the other side of it. And these pins stick out vertically, and they can be inserted into, in our case, a breadboard, but also into a printed circuit board. And if they were in a printed circuit board, these pins would then be soldered to that printed circuit board. With the breadboard, and you can see a chip inserted in the breadboard, it gives us a testing environment so that we can test this chip or test our circuits, wire them up. And for example, this pin is connected electrically to all of these pins, so if I put a wire or a resistor or any other connection in that device, they would be electrically connected. And we can see down here at this one, this pin is connected to this wire through that vertical set of holes in the breadboard, and that wire goes around and connects here, in this case, to the horizontal set of electrical connections that typically we use for our positive power supply. Now, these DIP or dual inline pins come in a variety of different types of circuits. They have different uses for them, but very typically they have on one side a little dip in it like we've got in this one, and there's also a little nub, and that's not on the other side. And that, if we think of it, place that on the left hand side, the writing on the pin, the package that describes what type of chip this is a 74LS04 or DM74LS04. The 7404 part is the important part for us, because that's how we can look up what the pinouts are and what kind of chip it is. When you have the little nub on the left hand side, pin 1 is at your bottom left, and then we number the pins 1, 2, and so on across, and then back going right to left on the top. And here we've got a little drawing of what was inside a particular pin, and there's pin 1 on the bottom left, pin 7 is on the bottom right, then pin 8 top left, and in this case pin 14, because this particular chip has 14 pins, up on the top left. Now, very typically, but this is not always the case, so you would always want to look at the documentation, the data sheet on your chip. The pin on the bottom right, which in this case is 7, is our ground pin, and that's where we connect it to our ground wire. And the pin on the upper left, which in our case is pin 14, is our VCC or power pin, and that's what we connect to our circuit powering us. And these chips are typically operate at 5 volts. They operate at 5 volts. So that's just a quick look at the dual inline package chips. They don't always have 14 pins. They come in fewer or more pins depending on what the function of that particular chip is. Well, thank you for watching this Danon Tech video. Please subscribe to this playlist so you don't miss future videos. And please check out and subscribe to our other playlists on the Danon Tech channel.